Hello, my name is Victoria N, and today I will be discussing the psychological effects of underage drinking on the adolescent brain. Here we have the short-term health risks on the right side, such as injuries, violence, alcohol poisoning, and risky sexual behaviors, and for those who are pregnant, miscarriages. And we have long-term effects here on the left side, right side. High blood pressure, cancer, memory and social problems, and alcohol use disorders are all tied to long-term health risks. Underage alcohol consumption continues to be one of the greatest health concerns all over the world. In the US alone, 5.6 million teens between the ages of 12 and 20 have reported taking more than just a few sips of alcohol in a single month. While teens may drink less frequently than adults, they tend to consume more in one sitting. This binge pattern is extremely dangerous to the developing brain. Today, I will be sharing how alcohol affects adolescent brain development, cognitive function, mental health, and long-term well-being. Adolescent years mark the time period for significant neurological growth and development. The brain undergoes important changes in the hippocampus, which is important for memory retention, and the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and self-regulation. Introducing alcohol into the system at this age can permanently disrupt development, interfering with processes like synaptic pruning and myelination, which are both essential for efficient brain functions. Right here, we have the U.S. standard drink sizes ranging from 12 ounces to 1.5 ounces, and these are roughly the examples of what they would be. Heavy alcohol use during these years physically alters the brain. Studies show reduced size of the hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, and the amygdala, which is responsible for fear responses. These changes are associated with weakened memory retention, poor behavioral control, and emotional dysregulation. The white and gray matter found in the brain regions are also reduced, leading to long-term cognitive delays. As you can see in the picture provided, on the right side shows the brain of a normal 43-year-old who does not consume alcohol in an obsessive manner. On the right side, you can see the picture of an alcoholic 43-year-old. As you can see, on the right side, the brain is less dense and decreased in size to comparison on the one that is on the left. Alcohol is a depressant that can slow the brain function for up to 2 weeks, making teens prone to anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Nearly 31% of underage drinkers show signs of extreme psychological distress, and almost 40% exhibit behavioral problems. Alcohol use contributes to risky behaviors such as unsafe sex, poor decision-making, and violence, all because the brain's development and impulse control centers are impaired. The younger someone begins drinking, the more likely they are to develop alcohol use disorder later in life. Those who drink before the age of 15 are 3.6 times more likely to struggle with addiction as an adult. Alcohol tricks the brain into craving that euphoric high, leading teens to chase the feeling over and over again. In fact, early alcohol use is linked to a 22% increase in marijuana use and a 50% increase in cocaine use. Beneath the surface, alcohol disrupts the brain's natural chemical systems. The endocannabinoid system, essential for emotional processing, is weakened. The CB1 receptors critical for stress management are reduced. Immune cells in the brain are enlarged under alcohol stress, which leads to inflammation and long-term brain damage. These changes are not always visible, but have severe, lasting consequences. Alcohol is not only affecting neurologically, but it can also affect things such as your lungs, your liver, your gastrointestinal tract, your kidneys, and things such as your heart. Recent data shows that more teenage girls report binge drinking than boys. That is most likely tied to the hormonal changes occurring during puberty. In general, females tend to struggle with emotional regulation, whereas males tend to struggle with controlling aggression. Both are affected negatively, but in different ways. Regardless of gender, at the end of the day, alcohol poses as a significant threat to all. Do you want to know the scariest part? Most of these effects are irreversible. Early alcohol use is directly connected to slower problem solving, impaired memory, and lifelong difficulties in emotional regulation. These consequences not only impact school and social life, they follow teens into adulthood, which can affect careers, mental well-being, and relationships. Needless to say, the evidence is overwhelming. Underage drinking jeopardizes brain development in profound ways. As a community, parents, teachers, and bystanders, we need to focus on education, early intervention, and prevention. The adolescent brain is too valuable to be compromised by alcohol exposure. So thank you so much for your time today. I hope this presentation has highlighted just how serious and lasting the effects of underage alcohol consumption can be.